I could not be more excited to start this journey with you. And look, I know this 100% for a fact. A lot of the things that we're going to go through are going to be like aha, oh shit moments. Like that's the best way I can describe this. And so I just want to set the context for what we're going to go through together. Do not, I'm going to give you a do not, then a do. Do not beat yourself up for decisions you made with little to no information or training, right? So if you think about this, for team leaders, everyone's like, yeah, David, start a team, right? Like start a team, build a team, run a team. And remind me from NAR down all the way down to coaches and programs and brokerages, where's all the team leader training, right? You have a lot of people talking about how they run their team, but that's a very different thing to a structured training program. So we're going to give you guys real structure, worksheets, a thought process to work through, right? That can align what you do. So the do not is like beat yourself up. The do is do the work and be curious, right? You could love all of what we say, you could love none of what we say, and both of those are 100% okay. But either way, you're going to end up making some form of changes, right? And so don't romanticize your own ideas. Don't be in love with your own ideas. That's a Robert Refkin quote he used to tell us all as employees. Like you can't be in love with your own ideas, right? Like, and in the end, your team is a business entity and the heir to your business is profit. Like you have to earn revenue. If not, what's the point of having a team, right? People start teams for two reasons. It's kind of similar to real estate. I want freedom and flexibility. Do you really have freedom and flexibility? Like you want to have like a team, not a family, right? Like a team is competitive. A team, like Phil Jackson used to say this all the time to when he coached the Bulls, because he's like, we're not a family, we're a team, right? And teams are based on performers and achievement. And did they have a great culture? Yeah. But they're not a family. Like I gotta love my kids no matter what they do, because they're my kids to a certain extent, right? But even with children, there's a line. So we want to build a culture of excellence. We want to help you build out your vision. And ultimately, we want to make sure that you're earning money doing this. You're not 503c non-for-profit foundations, right? That's not what you got into this for. And the other part is I encourage you to work with each other, right? And connect, right? Like, look, real estate is challenging enough as it is, let alone going through it on your own, right? So use the conversations as productive, and we'll kick off our journey today. Unique value proposition. So essentially today, we're going to go through at a very high level is defining your value proposition, writing your value proposition, and sharing your value proposition. By a show of yes in the chat, or hold on, I can still see hands here. How many people have a written value proposition here? One, two. And I don't know about the rest of the people in the chat, so say yay or nay. And if you do, that's great. If you don't, that's great too, right? You don't have anything to undo change, and we'll see how yours aligns with what we have in sharing your value proposition. So when you think about value propositions, I believe in the CCQ method. Is it clear, concise, and quantifiable? So when you come to Compass, it's clear that you get a $1.6 billion technology platform, right? It's concise because it can tell you about cool collections and business trackers and insights report and client dashboard and private exclusive, like all these different things. It's concise what you get, right? And then it's quantifiable. Like, what is it? So when you look at your team members, right? And they look at your value proposition, is it clear, concise, and quantifiable what they get? Yes or no? All right, Kathy Donovan, what do your team members get from you? Unmute yourself, please.
Sorry, it took me a second to find it. So I really don't know what other teams provide, but I provide.
You're the star right now. So
Okay.
what do you
I
provide?
just
If
hope it
I'm on your
doesn't
team, what do I get?
I hope it doesn't sound too crazy. I provide online leads through lead gen system. I provide all of the listing, coordination, and all of the expenses around that. So the staging, photos and video, paid marketing, signs, lock boxes. I also have a magazine that they can take to seller and buyer appointments.
I hope your agents have like 40% splits and you keep 60.
Yes.
Okay, good.
No, no, it's the opposite.
Exactly. So
Is
that
that
we're
bad?
doing, yes, it
See,
is
and
bad.
that's where when I came to Compass, I was talking to the sales manager about my splits. I'm like, does this make sense or not? And I definitely offer a lot for what I have for splits because I pay for the Compass transaction fee too, or resource fee. So
We'll get into this. So here's what
okay.
I want you to do. When you say all and everything and leads, right? I can offer you 5 online leads a month that come from here that's clear, concise, and quantifiable. Team member here's leads. They think, oh, Kathy's going to grow my whole business. I'm going to have her whole staff to use. She pays for everything. Like it does not make sense. And when I start walking you through the numbers, some of you might be mortified. Right. But the good news is it's like the first thing is raising your hand and saying, like, okay, this isn't working. Now let's have a more thoughtful approach in fixing it, right? So thank you. Look, so here's the cycle, right? You have to define your value proposition. Like, let's get clear as to what we really offer. Then you have to write your value proposition, right? Then you have to share your value proposition. This is 3 really important building blocks, right? So look, everyone has value, but the right part is understanding what your value is and who you are and who you're not. So if you offer leads, right? Like, great. If somebody's looking for lead gen, you're a great fit. If I'm going to make something up, if Ryan doesn't offer leads, then somebody says, I want lead gen, that's not a great fit, right? When you say I offer transaction management and all these stuff, you need to itemize what those things are, right? So I always say it's like what we will do, what we will not do, and what we'll never do. And the never do categories for all these agents that pitch you endless ideas that they just want you to pay for. Like it needs to be that clear, right? Any ambiguity, they're going to blame you. Always. And then share your value proposition. It's crazy for me to see after all this time how many people don't get their like team members to re-engage into this is what I use from the team. This is how it's working. I had another closing. I earned this much more money. This is how you build long-term retention. Now, if you look at this pyramid, right? Now, defining your value proposition. We're going to give you a worksheet that helps you do this. Get it in writing, right? So you can share with your current team members and your new team members. Can I tell you the most amazing thing what happens when you put it in writing? How many people here have staff members or are a staff member? Okay, how many people are the CEO, the team leader, the staff, and the main producer? All right, cool. Do you know how many things that you offer your team that they don't even use, they don't care about, and you just keep paying for? Like you start writing it out, like those $20 things, those $50 things, that 250 thing, that promise we have, like chasing good, putting good money behind bad money. I've been paying this for a year. I'm going to keep paying it. I'm going to get one deal and it's going to just pay itself back. That's like an addict's mentality for gambling. Like just stop. If it's not working and you don't have the time blocked in your calendar to like really get the most out of the investment, just kill it and move on. Like we don't need this. Then it's sharing your value proposition, right? How are we going to reintroduce this to our teams? And then going forward, you will align your value proposition through recruiting with the right people only. Make sense, everybody? I like the team track because it's a little more intimate and like we could dialogue more. All right. Here are the different ways to define your value proposition. The first thing, ask your team members. Set up a 15-minute one-on-one, and I would say, hey, Robin, like, just want to get together and just see how things are going, or I'd like to I would just almost leave it in, I'd love to have a one-on-one with you and want to get your opinion on something. But people love giving their opinion, right? And you're going to say, so what do you find most effective and valuable that the team offers? Don't ask what they want or anything else, right? See what they find most beneficial. That's called in the Compass world, it's like the Compass CEP, LFR, learning from reality. Let's see what people are using, right? So based on that, you can start to identify what you offer and you don't want offer, right? Staff, like Robin, you have a pretty good idea based on talking to the agents, right? What they like and what they don't like, or at least what they like.
Yeah, definitely.
So that becomes a core part of your foundation of these are the people that want these things are the right fit for us, right? Then align team expectations, right? A lot of us have staff members that literally get thrown to the wolves, right? So what we see commonly is somebody might be my assistant and they might work on the team helping out some of the team members. The team members think it's their assistant and like you have to protect your staff, right? It's like you'll hear me sometimes on large calls be like, please don't email our team all of this stuff. It's going to come out tomorrow. They're not responding to you and you can blame me for it, right? Because if not, they're going to be like on high alert, like, oh my God, the clients are asking for all the stuff we need to do. It's like, no, you don't. We said we'd send it tomorrow, right? So you have to make sure that there's a clear line. How many people here have staff members again? About half, right? You need to have such a clear line on what they do and what they don't do. And that goes back to listing out like what somebody actually gets, right? Some people have team members that barely produce $50,000 a year in GCI and have people making appointments for them. Like I remember being an agent, I had to work my little butt off to get somebody to like invest to make an appointment for me. Like the day that somebody made an appointment for me, I was like, oh, I felt like this, seriously, but I'm kidding. But really, I was like, I made it in life. Like I got somebody helping me with these things, right? Like it's a huge win. But so many of us, and this is my personal opinion and professional observation, are spoon feeding people with time, money, and resources that don't, like if it's a math equation, that don't deserve it. You can reallocate that and lean and mean is the way to go. And then itemize your offering, right, Kathy? I want to see an itemized list of all the things you offer. And like when it says we do the whole transaction management, it's say I'm on your team. Chirag, as the agent, this is your responsibility in the transaction. This is the TC's job. This is my role in it. And like anything else that's not in column 1 and column 2, you're responsible for, even if it's not on the list. Clarity is king. Now, let's go to the next part. Perceived value versus actualized value. Perceived value is all of the things that we feel we offer our team members. Actualized value is what they feel that they get. So Compass puts a heavy emphasis on their tech platform, right? That's what they feel that they offer. Now, here's the reality. If you don't use the tech platform, what value do you have to the tech platform? Someone want to answer that? Anybody?
You have zero value to it.
Bingo, zero. So if you feel you offer all this stuff and nobody uses any of this stuff, how much value do they attribute to all the things that Kathy's spending money on? Kathy has a giver's heart. So we got to make sure people give back to her, right?
And I did have an agent on my team and I kept her for 3 years, and she was not, she wasn't utilizing really what I was providing. So yeah, I think in your coaching program here, I need to learn how to be more of a business owner and not just, I want to help you so much that it's not really worth it to me as a team lead. That's where I
You
need
can't
to.
fall in love with potential, right? Like you can't.
Exactly. That's a great way of saying it. Yeah.
So one side is don't fall in love with potential. And the other one is I had a mentor of mine who built my real estate brand, built the Chirag Shah Coaching brand, the walls that are on the word that you'll see in our office, because I know you'll all come visit at least at one point this year. She built all this stuff, the whole Chirag Shah Coaching brand, everything. And she goes, you ever meet these people, Chirag? And like, there's such great things in them, characteristics, ideas, drive, and they just haven't got it yet. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to believe in this person and help them. She goes, how does that generally end up? And so we kicked around a bunch of words. She's like, disappointing, isn't it? And I go, yeah, every single time, right? She goes, stop hiring disappointment. At some point, you have to realize you've gotten to a place in your life where you're not the place that people go to figure it out, right? Like if that's what you want, that's a whole different kind of company, right? But if you mix those people trying to figure it out with people that are really competitive, that want to win and drive and grow, It's a big mix, right? And that's running your team more like a brokerage model than an actual true team. And most people at Compass here want the Kumbaya team model, right? Compass is also very Kumbaya. So, don't fall in love with people's potential and don't hire disappointment, right? It's a huge concept to work on. So look, you guys can go through all these questions, right? I want to spend some time on group discussion, but what do you provide? Do you provide leads? If so, how many leads do you provide? What you say and what somebody hears, like in sales, we always say, so, if you're having like meetings with like team members, like, hey, so based on what I said, what did you hear? What you said and somebody heard is two very different things a lot, right? Now, business development tools, mentorship, you guys all offer our coaching to your team members, right? So this should be part of your value proposition. If they had to buy the coaching on their own, it would cost them $3,600. With John Porter being on his team, I get it as part of being the John Porter group, right? So these are all different things. Like think of them like memory joggers or thought joggers, and like you start identifying this. Sharing your value proposition. So you need clear examples of what's offered, right? Like when you're thinking about what you offer, here's why we offer it, here's what we offer, and here's how you get the most out of it, right? Now, sharing your value proposition is also understanding what is your onboarding process that helps, once say you go to your team members, follow the process. We've identified blank works really well. Does someone want to tell me something that their team members get from the team that they really love? I'll use an actual example. Fran.
We provide amazing, what I'm gonna call drop-by ideas, marketing, not pieces, what do you call them, Josh? I mean, you can see maybe behind us on our bookcase, we do a lot of promotional stuff. And Josh and I are co-team leads. We create it. One of our other team members gets involved. The fourth one really doesn't, but she benefits. She pays for all those pieces. We're here because we're not operating properly as a team, and Josh and I need help in setting up a better functioning team. They get a lot from us. We don't get much from them.
Exactly. This is a common theme. Who here, safe space, right, feels that their team members, it is not reciprocal in the give and the get? Raise your hand. There's a group of people I work here with individually. You guys know you're not alone now, right? Nobody's alone in this because people never taught you how to be business owners, right? So when you think about onboarding, you want to find the one thing that they really like, right? So who here came to Compass most recently? Anybody in the last like 3 months? 6 months? A year? 6 months. All right, Kathy, unmute yourself again. So imagine, right, when you went to Compass, right? And like you had your big three that you had with your SGM. I'm here for the CRM, the branding, and everything. Think about how much better it would have been for you if the day that you joined, those were the only three things they talked about instead of telling you about everything, right?
Right.
So if you know something is really valuable and somebody came to it, you need to have a structured process to make sure they get the most out of it. You can unmute yourself. That was just, thank you.
Okay.
So look, the other part is don't share anything till it's concrete. Create clarity on the staff. And just remember this, communication without context is miscommunication, right? We'll get into the process of how you share it in sales meetings and wins, but you should be sharing your value proposition every single week with your team, right? So if I offer leads and I have a group of people, I'm going to say, hey, Chirag, you converted the things like, hey, Chirag took advantage of one of the benefits of the teams and the online leads and the TC. Chirag, share your win. The Chirag will share his win. How much money they earn you? Great. Like the team's really excited to support you in $20,000 of revenue. Then you make that in your own voice, but you're constantly reinforcing in other people's heads. Like people are using this stuff. You can use it too, or you're not using it. How do you get the most out of it? Right? There's a lot to that. Look, if you don't know what you're offering and have a plan for your team members to utilize the ongoing benefits, you're always going to have retention issues. People come for value and they stay for culture, right? But if you're not reinforcing your value, right? What do you do when a buyer or seller hires you? Like you do all this work that reinforces what they paid for. Well, if you're not reinforcing what the team is offering in a nice way by sharing wins, agent newsletters, right? Like about your team, things you have coming up, then the only thing in the absence of value, there's only price. Right. So here's what I want you to do. I need you to block time on your calendar and speak with all your team members and understand what's most important. Speak with your staff members, and then go ahead and fill out some of the worksheets so you can start putting this together. Right now, the other part that I want you to do that was not on the Zoom screen is when you see and you itemize all the things you pay for, run that list against the things that your agents and staff find that people enjoy the most on your team. I guarantee you there's thousands of dollars in things you can cut out of your budget. Yeah, John, see, thank you for showing your excitement, right? It's exciting, right? And look, it goes back to my first thing of do not be upset about what you did not knowing anything. If you want to be upset with yourself, wait a month, do absolutely nothing, waste money, be frustrated, lose time, not get what you want, and have this process and these worksheets that just take time to focus and do and not do them. Then you can be upset with yourself, right? But today you can't be upset with yourself. All right, so who has questions?
Chirag, just really quick, when are the slides, are they already there for this call and the worksheets you want us to do?
Normally by at the latest 5 p.m. Eastern. But a lot of these worksheets, did you guys use our AI search at all?
I've used it. It's great.
Yeah, just type in team value proposition. Anything that's on here is in there too.
All right, I have a question.
All right, let's rock.
So, and I know we kind of discussed it previously, but I'm like basically a two-person team. I've been at Compass for a little over a year, and I brought in somebody who she didn't have the volume to join Compass. She came from my previous brokerage, and then so when we first started, we're like, okay, we're gonna do all of these things, but I kind of feel like there's been a disconnect. So I'm starting from scratch. So I like when I come to like what the value proposition is, like I don't like it is a blank canvas. And this is one of the reasons why I didn't want to start a team. I've always been kind of against it, but I kind of feel like it's time. So help. I don't know what to do. Like I don't know where to start.
You just fill out the worksheet, right? Like, even if you don't have a team, you start thinking like, all right, these are the different things. Like there's literally check boxes that you can like click through the worksheets. Just start thinking about what you want and exploring what you want this to look like, right? If you
Right.
sat here and talk to all these other people, and if I open it up to like a therapy session, we could sit here for 3 hours with complaints.
Yeah. I just like because we were with the same brokerage before as independent agents, and it was a boutique brokerage, and then now we kind of felt like we've been thrown it into the deep end of the pool in a good way. So it's kind of like, how do I structure it so that I could possibly bring somebody else on eventually? I want to get those systems in place so that it's not an experimental
You
thing
don't
when the
have to.
next
You
person comes
signed
in.
up for this
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
We offer an actual training system that people can just plug into.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't have to start from scratch. Right. So for Janet had the same question. Who else has a question? Clarity, right? Like, what do you want this to be? And start literally filling it out. Like there's no right or wrong answer. It's not a test. So I think people overthink this and they don't do anything. And then all of a sudden, like, all right, I'm just going to have a team. I've been waiting long enough. Yeah, you could join and you just don't have a plan.
Hi, sorry I'm not on camera to start, but so like I was saying, I had the same situation as Yvette, and so I guess one of my questions is with my junior agent, I brought him on strictly as a showing agent because I knew that he did not have the volume, and right now he can't really bring in the business, and so will this this program, will it be able to help me to transition when he is ready to fully be able to start kind of bringing in the business? And is it okay, or does it make sense for me to keep him as a showing agent strictly for the time being?
What is the purpose of this person on your team?
So his purpose right now is literally just to be an extra support in the showing sense. So if I can't show, he knows the listings, he's well equipped with that information, and so he
Why would
shows.
you ever want him to do more? That's like the gift of all gifts.
Well, eventually he's going to do more because I mean, he has a network that's kind of like insane. And so he's super, super new to like real estate. And so I'm kind of mentoring him in that sense as well. So we're going to not only build off of my network, but also build off of his network. So eventually he is going to do more.
How
And he
long
wants
has he
to.
been with you?
Oh, he's only been with me less than a year.
Exactly. So you need a structured plan as to here, when you get here and you can do all these things without me, then we can go to the next thing, right? Like he has
Right.
to earn it. And look, I will say this to everyone wholeheartedly. If I had $1 for every time somebody told me they have a team member with a super network and we're going to work the network and it ended up being nothing, we could all go out to the most expensive steakhouse multiple times in America as a whole group, right? So look, again, it's potential, right? Unless he works in networks and starts doing more, and let him see if he raises his hand and says, Jeanette, like I want to market to my network. What can we do? Shouldn't be
Okay.
like you have an amazing network, we can work it, you can grow. Like see what desire and action and initiative these people take on their own. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And look, here's the thing. He says he wants to like get more than what he's doing now, correct?
No, not at this time. At
Okay,
this
then
time,
what do you
he's
leave it?
perfectly, yeah, he's fine with showing. And at this time, yeah.
Exactly. Well, let me tell you some free advice, right? If he's fine with it today and he's fine with it a year from now, you don't need to bring anything up. It's his job to bring it up, not yours.
Okay.
Right? Like if he doesn't know how to bring it up and you just see him getting better and better, working harder and harder, like you have to understand who the person is, right? But outside of that, pushing people to do more, like right now, having a showing agent is amazing team member, especially if they can handle your listings, handle your clients, do it so people are happy. For you specifically, like that's such a gift to have a good showing partner.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Definitely. All right, we have time for one more question if anyone has one. All right, everybody, we are off to the races. So we'll get the worksheets up, start filling them out, right? And look, use the Zoom chat to start meeting each other and connect with each other, right? You guys are all doing the same thing together. It would be better if you guys all became friends and shared ideas and everything outside of the call. So love in my heart. Love you all. Ooh,
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.